Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's episode, I will show you and talk about the short history of Olofsbo Fort on the west coast. Please take note that this information I only searched on the internet through my friend named Google. The history of Olofsbo Port on the west coast from 1500 centuries now and then. Olofsbo village is located just north of Falkenberg. The village Olofsbo is of all times. It can be traced back to the 17th century, but then with a slightly different spelling of the name. The name Olofsbo probably comes from the male name Olof and from Bod, Quack. In 1569, it was written Olofsbo. In 1646, Olofsbo, and in 1756, Olofsbo. I am not really sure if my pronunciation is correct, but you guys can leave a comment in the comment section. The old maps show that the range where the former European Route 6 passed through the village is an old coastline with now overgrown sand dunes on its eastern side. The sea then probably went up over the lands that later became the site of Olofsbo village. To the east was the Ram Lake with its in Swedish word Ramsjön, which may then have been a bay by the sea. Olofsbo is the swimming place, which is a well-known holiday resort for many, and has a very nice and child-friendly beach. There are two campsites, a shop called Timpo, a kiosk called Kostverlan with minigolf, a marina, a pizza place, which means in Swedish word pizzeria, a lodge, a cottage area with both small cottages and larger holiday homes. Almost every year, some of the summer guests move down to Olofsbo to become year-round residents in their holiday homes. In the 1934 century, the interest in swimming in the sea increased, and the village team formed Olofsbo Sea Vat Association to start swimming life on the beach. In the 1935 century, planting of pine trees in the gravel pit and the work was performed by school children. And in the 1944 century, the builder Carl Anderson from Holmaror donated 1,000 Swedish crown to the Sea Vat Association to use for the Sea Vat future development, around 21,000 Swedish crown year 2020. And in the 1946 century, a decision was made that rent would be taken out of the sauna cabins as entries increased rapidly. The fee would be 5 Swedish crown year on the common. The same year, it was decided to build a road along the beach. In the year 1948, in the summer, a daily bus connection with Falkenberg started. Proposals for outdoor regulations are submitted. They decide on a tent site in the northern part of Olofsbo. The tent fee would be 1 Swedish crown a day. At the association's annual meeting, the board was instructed to ensure that beer sales in the kiosk did not degenerate. In the early 1950s, one of the village farmers, Niklas Andersson, began to lease land for campers. The hen house was converted into washrooms and toilets. This was the beginning of today's Olofsbo camping. On Ascension Day, 18th May 1950, A motocross competition was held on the fells east of Olofsbo with 10,000 spectators. The first cabins will be in place on Alcan. The picture shows Alcan 56 in 1954, one of the first cottages on Alcan, flanked by Rooney and Myrta Alfredsons and his son Shell, a common look with a cottage without a terrace or veranda. In 1946, Olofsbo Cottage Association was formed on the basis of the first toilet. The Red Cross Cottage, now for the Band Cottage, is planned and built, which will be used by Red Cross members who can use the cottage free of charge in exchange for treating minor injuries and illnesses among the tourists and residents. In the coming years, the association will be organized tip walks, midsummer celebrations, beach gym, yoga, musical entertainment, family party, and more. In the 1946 century, in the southern part, there was a natural bay, Tórshavn. A number of small boat owners, both locals and summer guests who had their boats along the beach, joined forces and formed the association Torvik's Small Boat Harbor. Tórshavn was excavated, and a modern marina took shape with piers, loading ramps, and space for 100 up to 200 boats. Piers were built to protect the harbor. Inauguration July 20, 1969. And in 1976, the rent was set at 250 Swedish crown for the small cottages. At the end of 70s, at the request of the cottage owners, an implementation of a plan change of the area came mainly to legalize the many block buildings that have arisen over the years, with the addition and installation of balconies and more. And in 1982, the Falkenberg municipality approved exemption applications for fully glazed balconies, and in 1986, the rent for small cottages was set at 1,080 cents Swedish crown, and in 1991 up to 1992, talks resumed about changing the detailed plan for the cottages in order to be able to build larger ones and install water and sewage in the cottages. In the year 2005, dawns the farm, which is in Swedish word Glittergården, reopens with new owners and the new name Strandkanten. Caravan Club opens its campsite with 149 places. In the year 2010, the chaos at the road to the sea was completely destroyed in a fire. In the year 2011, the camp who took over the campsite up won about 60 cabins at the campsite. In the year 2015, the era of caravans was over for good when they were forced out of the campsite. In the autumn, Bert Carlson's company Hokario will start a refugee camp at the campsite, which will run until 2017. Glittergården, Strandkanten will also be a asylum accommodation. In the year 2018, the farm gets new owners and returns from asylum accommodation to a restaurant and accommodation again in the Caribbean spirit with a bit of a hippie feeling, and at the same time changes its name to Flip-Flop Beach Bar and Rooms, and until now it is still manageable. I hope you like my video and short history of Olofsbo Port in the West Coast. Thank you for watching, and I will see you again next time. My name is Emilyns Julian, and this is my nature in Sweden.